Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. In the global smartphone market, Huawei used to be a very powerful player. Originally, Samsung's global sales were ranked first in the world and Apple was ranked second. Later, Huawei surpassed Apple many times to become the second in the world, and even surpassed Samsung to become the first. Later, because the United States launched sanctions and implemented a series of chip supply cuts, Huawei's mobile phone sales fell sharply, especially in overseas markets. However, Apple and Samsung did not expect that Huawei would attack the world again. Before being sanctioned by the United States, how powerful were Huawei's mobile phones? According to relevant data, Huawei's global mobile phone sales reached a peak in 2019, with sales of 240 million units, far exceeding Apple, second only to Samsung, ranking second in the world. In April 2020, Huawei's global mobile phone market share once reached 21.4%, surpassing Samsung to become the world's first. However, because Huawei took the first place in the world in 5G, the United States felt that its technological hegemony was threatened. So it began to launch sanctions and suppression, directly implementing a comprehensive supply cut from the chip aspect, which directly led to Huawei's mobile phone market share becoming other. Because the United States not only stopped Qualcomm, Intel and other high-end chips such as 5G, but also stopped TSMC and Samsung from manufacturing Kirin and other chips for Huawei. This had a huge impact, leaving Huawei in a situation where there was no chip available and mobile phone sales directly declined. After that, Huawei could only rely on inventory chips to continue to maintain its mobile phone business, and later had to divest its sub-brand Honor. Even more serious is the overseas mobile phone market. The United States also asked Google to stop providing Android systems and GMS services, which directly reduced Huawei's overseas mobile phone sales to zero, because at that time, mobile phones sold abroad without Android and GMS were equivalent to bricks. In terms of hardware, the core Kirin chip had nowhere to be manufactured, and in terms of software, there was no operating system and GMS service. Huawei mobile phones could only temporarily leave the overseas market, and the domestic market could only be maintained. So Huawei mobile phones were equivalent to falling into a period of silence. Therefore, the beneficiaries are probably Samsung and Apple, because there is one less strong competitor in the global smartphone market. The biggest beneficiary should be Apple, because Samsung mobile phones have basically withdrawn from the domestic market, and Apple has therefore won most of the high-end mobile phone market share vacated by Huawei. So mobile phone sales continued to grow, and it easily ate dividends for several years. However, a recent report from the Japanese media, Nikkei, may have caught Apple and Samsung by surprise, because China's Huawei has regrouped and launched a global offensive in the mobile phone field, which has expanded to about 60 countries and regions. It is understood that huge billboards for Huawei mobile phones have appeared in major cities around the world, and can be seen on busy roads in Hong Kong, Dubai, Malaysia and other places. Mate X6 has entered more than 30 countries and regions, including the Middle East and South America. In addition, Pura 70, which will be launched in April 2024, has also entered the overseas market and shipped to more than 60 countries and regions. Huawei Mate X6 and other mobile phones are hot selling overseas, and plans to enter more than 60 countries. In 2024, Huawei's mobile phone activation volume increased by 14.1%, ranking first in China, and its shipments increased by 37%, ranking among the top 3 in the global high-end market, showing a strong recovery momentum. According to public information, Huawei provided after-sales service for smartphones to 105 countries and regions in 2020, which will be reduced by half by 2023. Now, it has been shipped to more than 60 countries and regions, and the scope will definitely be expanded in the future. Huawei was able to return to the global market because it solved the chip and system problems. First of all, the self-developed Kirin chip can be produced by itself. Huawei has publicly stated some time ago that every chip in the mobile phone has the domestic capability. The key point is that the production capacity problem has also been solved. Since the Kirin 9000S, it has been iterated twice this year and launched a number of Kirin chips. Secondly, the Kirin mobile phone operating system has matured. It has not only become the world's third largest mobile operating system outside Google Android and Apple iOS, but the smartphones launched this year will be equipped with the pure-blooded version of Harmony OS next. More importantly, the ecosystem of the Harmony OS system has been formed, and even if it goes abroad, it has enough supporting applications. Another point worth mentioning is that Huawei's smartphones are more secure, which may be more favored by foreign dignitaries, because whether it is an Android phone or an iOS phone, it is often unable to get rid of the US eavesdropping. Another thing is that the signal of Huawei's mobile phone is stronger in comparison, because Huawei's communication technology and equipment are world-class, and Huawei's mobile phones are better integrated, especially in areas where Huawei's 5G per 5.5G networks are deployed. Huawei's mobile phone signals will be stronger. Therefore, Huawei's mobile phones returned to the overseas market and first chose these places. In this regard, some foreign media directly stated that Huawei has completely gotten out of the predicament and can return to the global market, which fully proves that Huawei has solved the problem of foreign blockade.